The next company that's going to be presenting is Maxwell Kobe, CEO of Abstrax Tech. So Maxwell Kobe, you have 12 minutes. Please make sure, leave about 6 minutes for Q&A. As you can see, our investor judges are very engaged. And Maxwell, CEO of Abstract Tech, the floor is all yours. You're muted, Maxwell.
Thank you very much, everybody, for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you again. It's an amazing opportunity. So I'm Max Kobe. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Abstrax. We are an innovative leader of botanical terpene-based flavorings and aroma compounds. And we specialize in cannabis and botanical research of terpenes, flavors, and aromas. We're a key ingredient supplier, a strategic key ingredient supplier to some of the largest MSOs and CPG brands in both cannabis and beyond. We're helping to pioneer terpene-driven sensorial experiences that are not only helping to shape the cannabis, but also the consumer packaged goods industry. Abstrax is really a leader in the space because we've specialized in being a licensed cannabis researcher and flavor house with 2 separate facilities to leverage the diversity of terpenes and aroma compounds that exist in cannabis, but also act as functional flavorings and aromas in a variety of applications. We are the only one of our kind. We're located in California. We partner with some of the biggest brands and MSOs to study their cannabis and genetics so that ultimately we can become one of the largest cannabis flavor and fragrance manufacturers in the entire industry by creating new and cutting edge intellectual property, analytics, and functional product formulations. I founded the company with myself. I'm a serial entrepreneur since the age of 18. I've been running my own startups for over 16 years with my business partner, Jack, as well as my brother, Kevin, who's our chief science officer. Worked at a leading material research laboratory before pioneering cannabis and won over 15 different cannabis cups through his career. We've built an amazing team of PhD research scientists, formulation chemists. One of the gals that leads our formulation dev team actually invented Hawaiian Punch. We're having a lot of fun just leveraging the compounds found in cannabis to create unique sensorial experiences. The problems that we see are unique in the industry, mainly the limitation of consumer brands to be able to research, discover, formulate, and manufacture products beyond the restrictions of state boundaries with consistency. Ultimately, consumer trust is built through targeted, repeatable, and predictable product experiences, but without the technology, research, and teams, they are in large restricted in their abilities to create brand identities, again, across state boundaries, to map the aroma profiles of the cannabis they're developing to develop quality standards. The analytical standards currently existing in the industry are lacking. And then ultimately their ability to take that research and create functional flavorings that have global scalability are the biggest issues we see in the industry. Our niche is cannabis science and botanical research. We develop state-of-the-art technology to discover new compounds in cannabis and other botanicals, to research the function of these ingredients, and to ultimately create terpene and flavor standardization through our formulation department. Unlike other cannabis testing labs, we are a licensed R&D company. We developed our technology to be able to analyze cannabis and really pioneer exploratory research, which means that we're currently mapping over 400 compounds, including terpenes and aroma compounds in cannabis in both 2D and 3D applications. We've developed proprietary technology as well as our own analytical standards. Our company is separated into 2 separate manufacturing companies that allow us to capture the both cannabis and botanical ingredients. We study cannabis at Abstrax Labs and create cannabis-derived flavorings. And at Abstrax Tech, we're ISO certified food-grade manufacturing facility. We research cannabis. We create analytics to understand cannabis. We help our customers to not only develop product formulations, but finished goods. We extract the botanicals and cannabis at our facilities, and ultimately we formulate botanical terpene flavors and formulations. We offer our customers an innovation partnership to partner with them to help develop their formulations and provide lab services touching both THC, CBD, beer, alcohol, and other formulations to help them develop the ultimate spec for their product application so that they can send that to their co-packer to manufacture with our ingredients. We sell cannabis terpene extracts that we standardize through our formulation process, as well as botanically derived ingredients. Our botanically derived ingredients are distributed to over 33 countries. We had over 1,400 customers in 2020. We specialize in strain-specific, flavor-forward, isolated terpenes, as well as developing other applications, including TTB-approved terpenes, powderized applications, water solubles. We've taken our technology and applied it to both cannabis-derived ingredients, hop-derived ingredients, and hemp-derived ingredients. We have some amazing strategic partnerships with some of the leading universities, brewers, and companies in the space. We service some of the largest MSOs with exclusive supply agreements with some of the largest, including Cresco, Golden Leaf, Verano, GTI, including leading brands like Sherbinski's, Jack Hare, and even other companies like Anheuser-Busch and Sweetwater Brewing that have used our ingredients in their product applications. Some of the leading distributors in the industry represent our products, including Kushco Holdings, Marijuana Packaging, and Greenfield, which is one of the largest alcohol distributors in the nation. Like I said, we distribute over 33 countries, and every legal state will benefit from intrinsic growth with our existing MSO clients, with over 10% of our business coming from Canada. And we have emerging markets in Mexico, UK, and Asia. There's a number of different product applications for our ingredients. There's a number of opportunities to grow both within cannabis and beyond, leveraging terpene ingredients to create functional product formulations. Today, we're focused on cannabis and hemp, but really the opportunity is to be a disruptor in the supply chain for the flavor and fragrance, because we are pioneering cannabis terpene formulations. Cannabis is the most abundant source of terpenes in the entire world, yet research has been restricted, and Abstrax is the one pioneering research of these valuable aroma compounds that today contribute 36% of sales to the aroma category. Our go-to-market strategy is really focused
6 minutes left
around owning our cannabis niche, innovating new high-quality products, launching new products to address the new markets, including food and beverage and cosmetic industry, and then really owning our sales channels with our existing channel partners, distributors, sales reps, and targeted marketing. Our terpene market position is very unique. There's no one else out there that's a licensed cannabis research firm focused on flavor and fragrance formulations. We've done well developing the company from 2018 when we got established to 2020. We did 6 million in revenues. We had 1,400 customers this last year. 25% of our business in Q1 of 2020 was from MSO and key accounts, and 45%, grew to 45% in Q4. I want to open it up for questions. We're raising a total of $3 million at a $25 million valuation. And thank you very much for your time.
Great. So Max, so really quick, I'm going to ask the first question. What's the offering for the investment?
Common stock.
Okay. And minimum investment?
Today, we're just searching for our lead. There's no minimum threshold set.
Great. All right. And I'll turn over to the investor judges. Scott Berman, you had your hand up first, so you go first for your first question.
Thanks. Thank you, Max. Fascinating stuff. I'm curious about the competitive moat that you guys possess. It seems to be, you spend a lot of time on your facility and R&D, and where do you stand and how hard is it to duplicate what you've done over the last couple of years?
Thanks for asking, Scott. So a lot of it was exploratory research to develop our analytical standards to map the complexity of aroma profiles in cannabis so that we can create consistent product formulations that we can distribute elsewhere. So we've been researching cannabis for years. We've developed our own technology and licensing to do so, and a team of research scientists in order to get to this point today. We filed valuable patents on our formulations. If another competitor was to come in the space, they would have to set up licensed facilities. They'd have to develop world-class technology that only exists with Abstrax in the cannabis industry, which is why we work with Sierra Nevada and others to actually analyze their hops and other botanical compounds. And the reality is that we own the relationships with a lot of these customers. It's not enough for a flavor and fragrance manufacturer to study cannabis that's old on the shelf because of the degradation of the cannabis. So we had to partner up and earn the trust of industry leaders like Sherbinski's and Jack Hare and Cookies and all these leading brands to study their cannabis fresh from the plant, and not just one. We studied 1,400 samples of different cannabis, collecting over 400 data points of every cannabis strain to develop our unique set of analytics that help us precisely recreate each one of these cannabis profiles.
Great, Maxwell. Well, what other investor judges have questions for Maxwell? Adam.
Maxwell, thank you very much. Great presentation. Can you walk us through how you came up with the $25 million valuation?
Sure, absolutely. If you look at us as a key ingredient supplier in the market at a discounted multiple to other companies and flavor houses, typically they'll be trading in anywhere from 15 plus times future EBITDA. We're really set up to grow from 6 million to 12 million with our existing revenue guidance from our current clients. So we'll really benefit from intrinsic growth this year from purely a full year's revenue from existing clients, as well as some of the new market channels that we're moving into with customers like Anheuser-Busch. So today we're trying to take a modest approach to our valuation on top line revenue. We've sustained stable revenues of 6 million over the last 2 years, even inclusive of VapeGate and everything else that's happened. And so we're looking for a 3 to 4 time multiple of revenues. We are very flexible. We're looking for strategic partners. We've been fortunate enough to bring on some, and we have some soft offers currently, but again, looking for a lead, open to being flexible.
Great. Do you have any, Jeff, you're the last question, and so let's let you ask it. Maxwell, you have about 40 seconds to answer Jeff's question. Jeff, it's all yours.
Okay, so really quick, what are the risks that an investor will have if they invest with you, and how do you plan to overcome those risks?
I would say if you're focused on the cannabis space, purely shifting regulations, we work with we actually commissioned health studies with UCR to study the safety and efficacy of terpenes and vaporizers and edible applications. We've contributed some peer-reviewed papers to the industry to help regulators put in new regulations to help protect consumer safety. And then we're also diversifying the business into food and beverage, cosmetics, and other channels. So we've really done a great job of diversifying the business. We do not have a customer concentration risk exceeding 8% this year. And I think the risk will be diversified by continued growth in additional channel markets, applying the same technology that was pioneered using cannabis.
Great.
Excellent response.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for that question. Thank you, Maxwell. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Maxwell, as someone who actually used to own several cannabis testing facilities, I think it's great what you're doing. I know it's a tough industry, tough sector to be in, but the research is really needed for the plants. Maxwell, please make sure you put your information into the chat room. To all our listeners and participants, remember, if you go to the investorhotseat.com, you can get everyone's email address, everyone's background, everyone's website information. Maxwell, I also believe you had a couple questions in there as well too.